Yeah. Right, we are live now.
There's another new one.
Oh, yeah, there's somebody else just joining in. That's fine.
Alana Parker.
Aha, that's Mr. Alana Parker, that is.
Yes.
Paisley Buddy, number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Fabulous. I think I ticked everybody off then, didn't I?
Lockdown loonies are now showing us their faces.
Yes. Fabulous.
Linda ticks people off. Sensational.
Sorry, what was that, Douglas?
That you ticking people off again?
Yes, ticking them off. I'm very good at that kind of thing. Well, it's 2 minutes past 7. Is anybody else still missing something?
I can't seem to get hooked up to Rosalind.
I can't get rid.
She's here. You don't need to be hooked up to her. She's here. Oh, you will. You'll need your alternative means of communicating, right enough. Aye, that's true.
Oh my.
Was Laurie? I thought you'd been adapted by aliens. I can hear an echo now. You're echoing, Jill.
Yes, I think I'll turn mine off. I'm going to turn myself off and talk through my husband's computer now. So.
No.
It's echoing. Everything's echoing. Laurie's not muted. That's why.
No.
Linda's now going to mute.
You're echoing, Jill.
I was on page 2.
Yeah, sorry, I'll promote you. I suppose I should really.
We're now getting feedback.
Yeah, we are, aren't we? There you go, shouldn't have it anymore.
Okay. So if we think we have all the teams here, then I'll introduce myself to our new team, East Renfrewshire. My name's Ian Matheson, and I have been running this quiz for over a year now. Each month, the pattern is exactly the same as it's been since day 1, which is that we have 6 rounds of questions of one kind or another. I hope that it's not too intimidating, because these teams are so good that I've been making the questions a little bit harder and a little bit harder, and the Blighters still get very high scores. So please don't feel over challenged if you find it's a wee bit tricky. Round 1 this time. Now, for those who've been coming for a long time, you'll know that I try to have a round 1, some theme or other around these islands being Great Britain and Ireland. And in response to one of the teams who sent me some requests for particular themes to come up, I've combined my Around These Islands idea with their request. So we are going to have literary characters from around these islands. So there will be literary characters with origins in Ireland, Wales, England, and Scotland. And again, just for the new team to let you know, we do not collate these, your replies, and mark them centrally. We trust our teams, and therefore at the end of each round, you will be invited to mark your own score and then send your score to Linda only by the chat mechanism. If you simply identify, instead of saying to everyone, then to Linda Matheson, and your score goes back to Linda. So, literary characters from around these islands. Question 1. First of all, though, let me share my screen. Nearly forgot to do that there, because I always show people the questions as well as reading them out. Excuse me. So question 1 then, literary characters from these islands. Which detective chief inspector did Val McDermid introduce in The Distant Echo, the first of a series of 6 novels about that detective chief, or featuring that detective chief inspector? Which detective chief inspector did Val McDermid introduce in The Distant Echo, the first of a series of 6 novels? We will give you a moment or two to discuss it, because I know teams are communicating remotely. And then we'll move on to number 2. Who is the central character in Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man by James Joyce? Number 2. Who is the central character in Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man by James Joyce? Number 3. In which novel by Jane Austen does Anne Elliot fall in love with Captain Wentworth? Number 3. In which novel by Jane Austen does Anne Elliot fall in love with Captain Wentworth? Number 4. Hugh Morgan is the narrator of which novel published in 1939 that tells the story of his family and their village? It became quite a well-known film as well. Number 4. Hugh Morgan is the narrator of which novel published in 1939 that tells the story of his family and their village? Number 5. What was the name of the malevolent housekeeper in Daphne du Maurier's Rebecca? What was the name of the malevolent housekeeper in Daphne du Maurier's Rebecca? Number 6. Which character in a book by Robert Louis Stevenson becomes the prisoner of Captain Hoseason of the Brig Covenant before becoming embroiled in the aftermath of the 45 Rebellion? Number 6, which character in a book by Robert Louis Stevenson becomes the prisoner of Captain Hoseason of the Brig Covenant before becoming embroiled in the aftermath of the 45 Rebellion? Number 7, in Sean O'Casey's play Juno and the Paycock, who is the Paycock? What's the character's name? Proper name, not the nickname Paycock. In Sean O'Casey's play Juno and the Paycock, who is the Paycock? Number 8. Who is the best private detective in Aberystwyth in the novels of Malcolm Price? Number 8. Who is the best private detective in Aberystwyth in the novels of Malcolm Price? Number 9. Which series of novels about life in Scotland features episodes from the life of a woman called Chris Guthrie? I do not want the name of any individual story or novel in that series, the trilogy. I want the name overall of the series, of the trilogy. Which series of novels about life in Scotland features episodes from the life of a woman called Chris Guthrie? If my memory is correct, she was played on screen by Cheryl Campbell. And the final question in this round, number 10. Which Shakespearean heroine speaks these lines in As You Like It? Men are April when they woo, December when they wed. Maids are May when they are maids. The sky changes when they are wives. Number 10. Which Shakespearean heroine speaks these lines in As You Like It? Men are April when they woo, December when they wed. Maids are May when they are maids, but the sky changes when they are wives. Now, if anyone would like to hear any of the questions again and see them again, please unmute and ask, and I'll let you hear them again.
Number 8.
Oh,
Sorry, somebody asked me for something, but I think someone else spoke at the same time.
yeah.
Number 8, please.
Number 8. There's 3 of them there in a row. So number 8, who is the best private detective in Aberystwyth in the novels of Malcolm Price?
I was asking for number 9, but it's in actual fact it was 8 I wanted.
It was 8 that you wanted, okay. I must confess I have not read Malcolm Price's novels, but this seems to be quite popular. Any other one anyone wants repeated? I'll go back to the beginning then and ask if the teams are ready for me to read out the answers. Yes, no? Thumbs up if you are, or unmute and say, could we have more time if you want more time?
Can you say number 10 again, please?
Number 10, certainly. Which Shakespearean heroine speaks these lines in As You Like It? He's basically asking you which is the main character, the main female character in As You Like It. Men are April when they woo, December when they wed. Maids are May when they are maids, but the sky changes when they are wives. Which character speaks those lines? Are we ready for the answers then? If no one asks for more time, I'll assume that we are. Okay. The Detective Chief Inspector introduced by Val McDermid in The Distant Echo is called Karen Pirie, P-I-R-I-E. Number 2, the central character in Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man is Stephen Dedalus. Number 3, Jane Austen's novel with these characters is Persuasion. Number 4, Hugh Morgan is the narrator for How Green Was My Valley. Number 5, Mrs. Danvers is the malevolent housekeeper. Number 6, David Balfour in Kidnapped becomes the prisoner of Captain Hoseason and then gets involved with Alan Breck Stewart in the aftermath of the 45. Number 7, Captain, in inverted commas, Jack Boyle is the paycock. Number 8, Louis Knight is the best private detective in Aberystwyth. Number 9, Scott Quare is the name of the series by Lewis Grassic Gibbon. And number 10, the Shakespearean heroine is simply known as Rosalind. So if you could add up your scores, please. And
Sorry,
then...
Ian, before you go, Stephen Dedalus was actually a thinly veiled version of James Joyce himself. Would you accept James Joyce as an answer to that?
Well, the trouble is he's called Stephen Dedalus in the book, and I thought it was a wee bit obvious just to say James Joyce.
I'm trying my best for the team. I was the one who guessed it, but okay, I take your answer.
Thank you. Okay, if you could all send by private chat your scores to Linda. And I'll have to stop sharing in a moment to restart sharing if it's something different.
Someone has described that one as a stinker.
I'm sorry, I did understand that there were some tricky ones in there. I was trying to respond to requests, however, for literature and build in the From These Islands bit at the same time.
And 5.
I'm going at 6. We got 6.
The round 2 was inspired, if that is the right word, by Kenny McIsaac from Airheads, who a couple of weeks ago gave us a musical version, or rather an instrumental version of well-known vocal hits. And he played us some piano music. Now, I'm not going to play you piano music. I prefer let Hank B. Marvin be the person who plays the vocal hits. So I've got 10 recordings of vocal hits, but played as instrumentals by the Shadows. And I just want you to tell me the name of each one. So I'll stop sharing here so that I can start sharing the music. And I'll tell you a little bit about each one as it's played. I'll play each extract, which are about 30 seconds long, each twice. Number one is a song which was written in 1933 and was first sung by Bing Crosby, but became a UK #1 hit for somebody else in May 1961. Oh, and by the way, all of these are songs from the 60s, 70s, or 80s. So here's number one. What's the song? So what's that song? And I'll replay it, give you a chance to hear it twice. #1 hit in May 1961. So that's number one. I'll leave you a moment or two to discuss that, and then I'll play number two. And for your information, number two was a top 10 hit in the UK in 1969. So here it comes now. Again, just the title I want. I don't need the original performers. And here it comes again. Okay, that's number two. Give you a moment or two again. By the look of the faces, we're ready for number three. Number three was a #1 hit in the same year, 1969. Again, I'll replay that. one is number 3. Number 4 was a number 1 in the USA, but only reached number 23 in the UK in 1967. Okay, I'll replay that one as well. As a further wee clue to that one, it was the first release by a group which then went on with its second hit to make number 1 in Britain as well. Excuse me. Number 5 was a number 3 in the UK and winner of the Ivor Novello Award, in 1978. And I'll really be surprised if you don't get this one. Replay that one, just for fun. Okay, number 6 was a US and UK number 1 in 1984. And again. Okay, that one was number 6. Number 7 was a number 2 in the United States, but it only reached 28 in Britain. Same year, 1984. I think you'll know it though. Second hearing. Okay.
Ian, there's not a lot of time of silence when we can discuss the.
Okay, I'll just pause right now for a few seconds.
That's brilliant.
Okay, we'll move on to number 8 then. Number 8 was a number 2 in the United Kingdom and number 1 in the USA in 1982. How it missed out at number 1 in Britain, I do not know. I'll repeat it. Now, number 9 may be the trickiest one because there are 2 versions of it that hit the charts. First of all, reached number 11 in the UK in 1979, and then a different version of it reached number 2 in the USA 2 years later, and then was a worldwide hit, though not in Britain, presumably because the first version had been so successful in Britain. So here it is. And I'll replay that.
Ian, what was the date for that one?
The British number, it was number 11 in Britain in 1979. It reached number 2 in the USA by a different artist in 1981.
Thanks.
Ian, what was the one that was an Ivor Novello Award winner?
That one was number 5. However, I've still got number 10 to play you. And number 10 was a UK number 1 hit in 1987. Possibly one of the biggest hits of all of this selection. And I'll replay it. Well, that at least gave me a good excuse to play some music by Hank B. Marvin and the Shadows. If anyone wants to hear any of them again, or hear the question or the information about any of them again, just ask.
Can I have number 3, please?
You could. Number 3 was a UK number 1 in 1969. Any others?
8, please, Ian.
Number 8, okay.
Could I have the Ivor Novello one again, please?
Yep, the Ivor Novello one is number 5. Also, it was number 3 in the UK and won the Ivor Novello Award in the same year.
Yes.
Kenny, we can hear you.
Number 7, please, Ian.
Number 10, please, Ian. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'll play them both. Number 7 was a big hit in the States, but only a minor hit in the UK, 1984.
Yeah, that's okay. I can get it now.
number 10.
Ian, could we have 1 and 2, please?
Okay, I was asked to play number 10, so I'll do that one first and then give you 1 and 2.
Right on, thank
That's
you.
it.
1987, number 1. Okay, now we'll get number 1, which was a number 1 hit in May 1961, though it was a much older song than that. And there's a wee clue there, think close harmony in the original, or the number 1 hit anyway. And number 2, top 10 hit in the UK, 1969. Okay, that's been recorded by umpteen different people, but the one that went to number 1 in 69 was the original. Are we ready for the answers now? In that case, I'll stop sharing.
Sorry, Ian. Could you possibly, I know you played a lot, number 9, please. Thanks.
I'll bring it back up. I'll need to start sharing again then.
Oh, sorry, Ian. I'll just leave it then.
You sure? I'll do it if you like. It's okay. It just means that I have to bring it back up again because I closed it down. Number 9. Here it comes.
Yeah, a fine man, despite what the others say.
Okay.
No, it's.
And I'll stop sharing again. And I think really it is time to give you the answers. Number 1, first written in 1933, first sung by Bing Crosby. The Everly Brothers took it to number 1 in 1961, and it's Temptation. Number 2 was from 1969. It was the original version of a much recorded song was by Creedence Clearwater Revival, and it's Proud Mary. Number 3, nobody asked for this one to be replayed. No wonder, I suppose. It's Honky Tonk Women from the Rolling Stones originally. Number 4, no one asked for this either, so you all recognize the Monkees, did you? This is Last Train to Clarksville. Monkees number 1 hit. Monkees number 1 in the US, but only came to 23 in the UK. Number 5 is the glorious Baker Street from Jerry Rafferty that won the Ivor Novello Award. Number 6 was Foreigners, I Want to Know What Love Is. 7 I'm amazed people asked to hear this one again, but there you go. It's Bruce Springsteen's Dancing in the Dark. Number 8, surely worth the number 1, was the song From an Officer and a Gentleman by Joe Cocker and Jennifer Warnes, Up Where We Belong. Number 9, if I'd told you that Dave Edmunds was the British singer, and of course he had a big hit earlier on with Knocking on Heaven's Door, this was Queen of Hearts. And number 10 was number 1 for the Bee Gees in 1987, and it's You Win Again. So once more, if I could invite you to send your scores to Linda by private chat. I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly enjoyed creating the round because, as I say, it let me hear the magic of Hank B. Marvin. I nearly included 1 or 2 others that I thought were actually too easy. Ones like River Deep, Mountain High. The tune just comes over on the guitar so easily. So if we can manage to send Linda those.
You can't convince me that was the Shadows' best years, though, Ian.
These are all taken from Shadows albums that focused on other people's records mainly.
I understand that, yeah.
But 2 of them came, the last 2 came from the album Shadows 25, which was made about 1987, and I thought was a brilliant LP.
It's not one of the Shadows that I've got. Otherwise, I think I'd have recognised a few more.
Well, only 2 of them came from that one.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is I don't think I've got any of those on Shadows.
Ah, right. Well, they came from about 4 different albums, which I found online. However, I'd better start sharing the screen, the normal screen again, because we're going to have to come back to the next round of the quiz, unless Linda has got all the scores. Have you got all the scores in yet? No, that's okay. We'll get the up-to-date scores after the next round. What's going on? There we are. Now we're going on to, instead of name that tune, let's name that actor. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the names and dates of 3 films in which famous actors appeared. Which actor is common to each of these 3 films? I don't promise it's all that easy, but it should be a bit of fun. So here is the first one. The Philadelphia Story in 1940, The Rainmaker in 1957, and Guess Who's Coming to Dinner in 1968. Who appeared in all 3 of these films? Philadelphia Story in 1940.
It's not Catherine Hepburn, is it?
Somebody's not muted.
I am. Could she come to dinner? One of you is not muted.
I think you better mute that person if you can find them, Linda.
I'm trying.
So the Philadelphia Story 1940, The Rainmaker 1957, and Guess Who's Coming to Dinner in 1968. Number 2.
Just going to say it's a good job that person got the wrong answer.
You're right. You're right.
Number 2, Barefoot in the Park, 1967. All the President's Men in 1976. And The Horse Whisperer, 1998. Who was in all 3 of these? Number 3, who was in Flintstones in 1994, Monsters Ball in 2001, and Die Another Day in 2002. Oh, and by the way, just to help the new team a little bit, in the sense that it put you in the same position as the rest, when I have rounds like this, I usually make sure there are 5 male and 5 female. And that is the case here. So who was in the Flintstones, Monsters Ball, and Die Another Day? Number 4, Bugsy, 1991, Sneakers, 1992, and Sexy Beast in 2000. And the one thing I'll say is that there is one role that this person has had that was much more famous than any of these, and if I'd included that, it wouldn't be worth putting anything else in, so I'm not going to give you that. So Bugsy in 1991, Sneakers in 1992, and Sexy Beast in 2000. Number 5, The Gold Rush, 1925, City Lights, 1936, A Countess from Hong Kong, 1967. So 42 years between the first of these and the last of them. The Gold Rush, 1925, City Lights, 1936, A Countess from Hong Kong, 1967. Number 6, Shakespeare in Love, 1998, Ned Kelly, 2003, and The King's Speech, 2012, and it's not Colin Firth. Shakespeare in Love, 1998, Ned Kelly, 2003, The King's Speech, 2012. Somebody on mute there.
Oh, it means somebody went offline.
All right. Number 7, Hot Fuzz, 2007, The Iron Lady, 2011, The Favourite, 2018. So who was in Hot Fuzz in 2007, The Iron Lady, 2011, and The Favourite, 2018?
Douglas may ask for a repeat because it was him that fell out. Oh. That's
okay. He was at the caravan and might be losing his Wi-Fi. Is he back? Number 8, The Pride and the Passion, 1957, Marriage Italian Style, 1964, and Pret-a-Porter, 1994. The Pride and the Passion, 1957, Marriage Italian Style, 1964, Pret-a-Porter, 1994. Number 9, Dr. Strangelove, 1964, The Greatest, 1977, Patriot Games, 1992. And I'll give a little clue in this one that this actor is also very well known for voice performances in other films. Dr. Strangelove, 1964. The Greatest, 1977. Patriot Games, 1992. And our last actor, Buster, 1988. Billy Elliot, 2000. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, 2009. Buster, 1988. Billy Elliot, 2000. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, 2009. Okay, if you want to revisit any of these, let me know.
Can I have number 8 again, please,
You
Ian?
certainly can. Pride and the Passion, 1957. Marriage Italian Style, 1964. Pret-a-Porter, 1994.
Oh, that's I've got the wrong one there. Oh dear.
I've got an answer down for 3. We're missing 6 and 7. Though
You're also not muted, Kenny.
No.
It's 7 I'm missing. Right.
Here you go. Hot Fuzz, 2007. The Iron Lady, 2011. The Favourite, 2018.
7, 8. 8. Right, I've got 8.
You're not muted, Anne.
No, I know. I'm counting out loud. Sorry, I'll mute myself.
Can I see 3 and 4, please, Ian?
Number 3, The Flintstones, 1994. Monsters Ball, 2001. Die Another Day, 2002. And number 4, Bugsy, 1991. Sneakers, 1992. And Sexy Beast, 2000. Now, before I give the answers to that, and to give you a little more time, I'll stop sharing for the moment and ask if Linda is able to give you the scores for rounds 1 and 2. Oh, Airheads in lead. East Renfrewshire second. Lockdown Loonies third. Dunelm, Paisley Buddies, Causeway Giants. Fair enough. A reasonable range of scores, but no total disasters.
Can you check the marks that I got them right, please, as well? Let me know I'm wrong.
I think ours is total disaster.
You've time enough.
Aye, absolutely. Plenty time.
That says June. I have to change that.
Right, I'll start sharing again. Are we ready for me to give you the answers?
Could we have number 9, please, Ian?
Yep. Dr. Strangelove, 1964. The Greatest, 1977. Patriot Games, 1992. Plus a number of very famous voice performances.
Sorry, Ian, number 3, please.
The Flintstones, 1994. Monsters Ball, 2001. Die Another Day, 2002. Shall we go for the answers? Anyone still want more time? I'll take that as a no. Okay, number one. Well, the person who was
Can't hear you at all, Ian, if you're talking.
Am I muted?
Not a sound. Of course, I don't know if he's
I can hear you, Ian.
I can hear you, Ian.
Ah, wait, I've got some sound now.
Thank you. Right.
Yeah, I can hear you now, Ian. That's it.
That's fine. Well, number one, the person who spoke and Anne said had the wrong answer. Anne very well knows that she did not have the wrong answer because that was indeed Katharine Hepburn.
Yeah.
Number
We
two.
were fighting over that answer, but that was the one that went down.
Number two, Barefoot in the Park, All the President's Men, The Horse Whisperer, he also directed. It's Robert Redford.
Yeah.
Number three, I think you'll find that the middle one there, she actually won an Oscar for, and it's Halle Berry.
Yes.
Number four, anyone able to tell me which one I deliberately missed out because it was so famous that you wouldn't have needed anything else?
Bonnie and Clyde?
No, it's Gandhi. This is Ben Kingsley that was in all of these.
Oh dear, I should have bowed to my teammate.
Number five, well, I think you've probably got that from the Gold Rush alone. It's Charlie Chaplin. Number six, this is not Colin Firth. It was the elocutionist in the King's Speech, also known as Captain Barbossa in the Pirates of the Caribbean. It's Geoffrey Rush. Number seven.
Oh, sorry, I did.
Number seven, she only won an Oscar for The Favourite, Olivia Colman. Number eight.
Didn't know she was in the other ones. No.
Number eight is Sophia Loren.
Well done.
Number nine is the man with one of the best voices on the screen, James Earl Jones. Mufasa for a start in the Lion King, not to mention playing Darth Vader in Star Wars, at least providing the voice for Darth Vader. And number 10, this is, well, I could have put any of the Harry Potter films down here. It's Julie Walters. So as usual, if you would like to send your team's score by private chat to Linda. And when she tells me she's got the scores in, I'll start round 4, which as you can see is called On the Menu. I'll go further on the menu around the world. Go all yet?
I have now.
Okay, in that case, I'll begin round 4. Round 4, question 1. If a dish on a menu is described as en cocotte, how is it likely to be served? If a dish on a menu is described as en cocotte, how is it likely to be served? Number 2, owing to the 3 colours of the dish, what is the Mexican recipe chiles en nogada said to represent? Owing to the 3 colours of the dish, what is the Mexican recipe chiles en nogada said to represent? Number 3, fattoush salad, made of fried pita bread topped with a variety of chopped vegetables, originated in which Middle Eastern country? Fattoush salad made of fried pita bread topped with a variety of chopped vegetables, originated in which Middle Eastern country? Somebody's not muted. I'm hearing clicks. Number 4. Gochujang is a fermented paste made with soya beans, sticky rice, and chili flakes, which is used as a flavoring in cooking or as a dipping sauce in the cuisine of which Asian country? And as a wee help, if you had a main dish cooked with gochujang, you might have kimchi as a side. Gochujang is a fermented paste made with soya beans, sticky rice, and chili flakes, which is used as a flavoring in cooking or as a dipping sauce in the cuisine of which Asian country? If you had a main dish cooked with gochujang, you might have kimchi as a side. Number 5. Česnovka from Croatia, andouille from France, kielbasa from Poland, and falukorv from Sweden are all varieties of which type of food? Česnovka from Croatia, andouille from France, kielbasa from Poland, and falukorv from Sweden are all varieties of which type of food? Number 6. What is the main ingredient in the Japanese dish tamagoyaki? And by the way, it's not something very strange. What is the main ingredient in the Japanese dish tamagoyaki? Number 7. In which country could you order a roast suckling pig dish called cochinillo asado? In which country could you order a roast suckling pig dish called cochinillo asado? Number 8. If you see a dish described as gansak on a menu in an Indian restaurant, what ingredient will it contain? If you see a dish described as dansak on a menu in an Indian restaurant, what ingredient will it contain? Number 9. In an Italian restaurant, how will the vegetables be served if the menu describes them as crudo? In an Italian restaurant, how will the vegetables be served if the menu describes them as crudo? And finally, number 10, what type of food is noodle, which you may find as a side dish in Germany? And by the way, it's not noodles. What type of food is noodle, which you may find as a side dish in Germany? As usual, if you would like me to repeat any question, please just let me know. Do we need more time, or are we ready for the answers? I'll take it we're ready for the answers if we're not being asked for more time. So, if a dish is described as entrecote, how is it likely to be served? It's likely to have been cooked and served in individual pots. Number 2, the 3 colours of Chile's Endogada are said to represent the flag of Mexico, because the 3 colours are red, white, and green. Fatouche salad originated in the Lebanon. Number 4, Korea is where you would find gochujang. Number 5, these are all varieties of sausages. Number 6, tamagoyaki is a kind of Japanese omelette, so it's eggs, it's the answer. Number 7, a roast suckling pig dish called cochinillo asado is in Spain. Number 8, dansak will contain lentils. Number 9, crudo vegetables, as you might guess from the word crudo or crude, means raw vegetables. And number 10, noodle are dumplings. So again, if you could send Linda your scores before we move on to round 5, which is another request round.
One comment was it's made them all hungry, and another person says, funny that they seem to have got interests in food. They got 10 out of 10.
Sorry, Ian, I don't have any of the, I didn't hear any of the answers.
Oh, In that case, I shall repeat for you the answers. I don't know what's happened to your sound. The Uncle Cot, the dish is likely to be served in individual pots, actually cooked and served in the same pot.
Yeah.
Number 2, it's the Mexican flag.
Yeah.
Number 3, Lebanon.
Yeah. Well done, Douglas.
Number 4 is Korea.
Well done. Yeah.
Number 5, these are all sausages.
Yeah.
Number 6, eggs.
Yeah.
Number 7, Spain.
Oh, yeah.
Number 8, lentils.
Yeah.
Number 9, raw vegetables.
Yeah.
And number 10, dumplings.
Way.
Take it you did quite well in that round then.
10, I think.
Well, let's just pause for a moment or two to let Linda enter all these scores, and then I'll ask her to share the scores right up to round 4 with you when she's ready. Then we'll move on to round 5. So I'll stop sharing for the moment and wait until Linda's ready and she can share the scores with you when she is. Here we go. Ooh, some high scores there. Still just ahead, the Airheads. East Renfrewshire, our new team, in second place. Number 3, Causeway Giants, then West Lothian, then Dunelm. But now we've got everybody clearly over half marks, which is what I like to see. But we still get some very high scores at the top, which is also what I like to see. Please check and make sure that your scores have been recorded accurately.
Sorry.
And then I'll start sharing again. And we'll move on to round 5, which, as I say, is a request. One of the teams said, could you give us one on outer space? Yeah, certainly. So we have 10 questions on outer space. Question 1. What kind of astronomical phenomena are Leonids, Perseids, and Orionids? What kind of astronomical phenomena are Leonids, Perseids, and Orionids? Number 2, how many years are there between occasions when Halley's Comet is visible from Earth? How many years are there between occasions when Halley's Comet is visible from Earth? I'll probably give you plus or minus 3 on this. If you get within 3 of it, I'll give you it. Number 3. Which star cluster is nicknamed the Seven Sisters? Number 3, which star cluster is nicknamed the Seven Sisters? Number 4, which planet did the NASA spacecraft Cassini reach in September 2017? Number 4, which planet did the NASA spacecraft Cassini reach in September 2017? Number 5, 110 deep sky objects visible from Earth are catalogued with M numbers, M being the initial of the surname of the scientist who began the catalogue in the 18th century. What was his surname? 110 deep sky objects visible from Earth are catalogued with M numbers, M being the initial of the surname of the scientist who began the catalogue in the 18th century. What was his name? Number 6. In the Star Trek series, who is the captain of USS Voyager? Just thought I'd slip 1 or 2 fictional outer space questions in as well. So in the Star Trek series, who is the captain of the USS Voyager?
Do you mean the first series or?
I mean the USS Voyager.
Right, okay.
The first series was the USS Enterprise.
Enterprise, yeah. Sorry, got it.
And if I need corrected in this, I've got the perfect person to do it sitting right beside me. Number 7. What name is given to an exploding star? What name is given to an exploding star? Number 8. The asteroid belt in our solar system is situated between which 2 planets? The asteroid belt in our solar system is situated between which 2 planets? Obviously, I'm looking to get both planets for the mark. Number 9, the other fictional one. Which science fiction author created the character Harry Seldon? Which science fiction author created the character Harry Seldon? And number 10, Aldebaran is the brightest star in which constellation, which shares its name with an astrological sign? That gives you a 1 in 12 chance of guessing it. Aldebaran is the brightest star in which constellation, which shares its name with an astrological sign? So if you want anyone repeated, please just let me know. Save me asking. Any questions wanted repeated?
4, please. Aye, you had it. 4, please.
Number 4, which planet did the NASA spacecraft Cassini reach in September 2017?
At the end.
Time you muted yourself again, Douglas.
Get number. Could we have number 2, please, Ian?
You can indeed. Number 2. How many years are there between occasions when Halley's Comet is visible from Earth? How often does Halley's Comet visit the Earth or nearby?
Can you give us the question about the M numbers again, please?
I can. There it is there. 110 deep sky objects visible from Earth are catalogued with M numbers, M being the initial of the surname of the scientist who began the catalogue in the 18th century. What was his name? Ready for the answers? If you want more time, just ask me, but if I don't hear in a few seconds that someone wants that, I'll assume we're ready. Okay, I'll assume we're ready. The Leonids, Perseids, and Orionids are meteors, or except meteor showers or meteors, but not meteorites, because they're something else altogether. Number 2, there are 76 years between Halley's Comet visits, so I'm giving you plus or minus 3. If you're anywhere between 73 and 79, I'll give you. Number 3, the Pleiades are the 7 sisters. Number 4, the planet that Cassini reached was Saturn. Number 5, the name of this scientist was Messier, M-E-S-S-I-E-R, Messier. Number 6, Catherine Janeway is the captain of the USS Voyager. Janeway alone will do. Number 7, an exploding star is a supernova. Number 8, the asteroid belt is situated between Mars and Jupiter. Number 9, Isaac Asimov created Harry Seldon in his Foundation series of novels. And finally, Aldebaran is in the constellation Taurus. As usual, please send your scores to Linda. And then we'll hit round 6, our general knowledge round, which could be a bit of anything.
I want to know if the person that asked for that round is here.
I don't know. I can't remember which team it was that asked.
Well, I'm asking them now.
A couple of months ago, people emailed me with ideas for rounds that they would like to see, and somebody mentioned outer space.
I think it might have been me, even though I said at the time I knew nothing about it.
No, it wasn't. It was a team from England. I'm sure
right.
I'm sure it was a team from England.
Well, I think I might have said, well, maybe not. I thought I did.
Because I don't think I got an email from you, Anne, but I did get an email from someone in England.
Maybe you didn't get it, Ian. Maybe Linda got it.
She forwarded them all to me.
Well, I definitely sent something.
Okay. Not that it matters. We're just interested. Because if you did ask for it, we'll see whether you got a good score then.
They did.
They did.
Oh, that's fun.
It'll be quite good to know what the scores are before we go into round 6. So we'll just take another wee pause and let Linda get up to date.
Yeah, I made a wee mistake.
She made a wee mistake. That's okay. Sure you can fix it.
I don't think it was popular with everybody.
Okay. I'll have to stop sharing to let you share. Oh, come on.
Right, give me a chance to get sorted.
There we are. So with one round to go, these are the scores. Oh, close at the top between Ayr and East Renfrewshire, Causeway and West Lothian coming close behind, and then Dunelm. Quite a mixed picture. There's some high scores in that round. What, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 6 nines and an 8. That's good. That's good. Again, could you just make sure that your scores have been recorded accurately? And then we'll hit you with round 6. General knowledge can be absolutely anything. So, question 1. In the Monty Python film, The Meaning of Life, which apparently innocuous item causes the gourmand Mr. Creosote to explode? In the Monty Python film, The Meaning of Life, which apparently innocuous item causes the gourmand Mr. Creosote to explode? Number 2. The Scottish supporters sang "There's only one team in Tallinn" when the home team failed to appear for a rearranged kick-off time in a World Cup qualifier in 1996. Of which country is Tallinn the capital? The Scottish supporters sang "There's only one team in Tallinn" when the home team failed to appear for a rearranged kick-off time in a World Cup qualifier in 1996. Of which country is Tallinn the capital? Number 3. Why was there no winner in the 1993 Grand National? Why was there no winner in the 1993 Grand National? Number 4. Which former Formula One star has become a spokesperson for people with dyslexia and is now the president of the charity Dyslexia Scotland? Which former Formula One star has become a spokesperson for people with dyslexia and is now the president of the charity Dyslexia Scotland? Number 5. Felicity Kendall and Pam Ferris starred as professional gardeners who became involved in solving mysteries. In which television series, which ran from 2003 until 2007? Felicity Kendall and Pam Ferris starred as professional gardeners who became involved in solving mysteries. In which television series, which ran from 2003 until 2007? Number 6. What is the official language of the small state of Andorra, which lies in the Pyrenees between France and Spain? And a wee hint, there is no such language as Andorran.
There is in Star Trek, probably.
What is the official language of the small state of Andorra, which lies in the Pyrenees between France and Spain? Number 7. The village of Utterbu has no less than 3 chemical elements named after it: yttrium, ytterbium, and erbium. In which country is this village? The village of Utterbu has no less than 3 chemical elements named after it: yttrium, ytterbium, and erbium. In which country is this village? Number 8. In which language does the television company S4C broadcast? In which language does the television company S4C broadcast? Number 9. Which capital city was known as Batavia during the time when the country was a colony? Which capital city was known as Batavia during the time when the country was a colony? And the last question tonight. Which primate has a long skeletal middle finger that it uses to tap trees to search for grubs and then to dig for them? Which primate has a long skeletal middle finger that it uses to tap trees to search for grubs and then to dig for them? If you want any question repeated, just ask as usual.
Number 1, please, Ian.
Certainly. In the Monty Python film, The Meaning of Life, which apparently innocuous item causes the gourmand Mr. Creosote to explode? Any other one? Do we need more time or are we ready for the
Sorry,
answer?
10. Can I have 10 again?
10, certainly. Which primate has a long skeletal middle finger that it uses to tap trees to search for grubs and then to dig for them? And for the sake of clarity, it's not a member of any of tonight's teams.
Oops, sorry, I'm not muted.
Okay, ready now for the answers? Looks as though we may be. In that case, the answers are as follows. Number one, the item that causes Mr. Creosote to explode was what was described as a wafer thin mint after eating most of the produce of the restaurant. Number two, Tallinn is the capital of Estonia. Number three, there was no winner in the 1993 Grand National because there was a false start, but only 9 of the runners stopped and the rest carried on running. So the Grand National that year was declared cancelled. Number four, Sir Jackie Stewart is the spokesperson for dyslexia. He has made no secret of the fact that he is himself dyslexic. Number five, Felicity Kendall and Pam Ferris starred in Rosemary and Thyme. Number six, the official language of Andorra is Catalan.
Well done.
Number seven, the village of Uterbo is in Sweden. Number eight, TV company S4C broadcasts in Welsh.
Ian, the number 7, there's a fourth, there's terbium. Erbium, terbium, yttrium, ytterbium, 4 elements.
That's interesting because I looked this one up and I was only able to trace 3. However, I'll take your word for it.
Well, you
Terbium,
need to be
definitely.
someone that knows the-
Terbium.
Okay.
Doesn't change the answer, does it?
Doesn't change the answer at all. It's still in Sweden. You're quite right.
He likes to show off his knowledge of the periodic table, that man.
So S4C broadcasts in Welsh. Number 9, the capital city known as Batavia is Jakarta, the capital of Indonesia. And number 10, the eye is the primate which has the long finger that it uses to tap trees to search for and then dig for grubs. So, if you would like to send Linda your scores, and we'll get the final scores.
Ian, I thought number 9 was Dutch East Indies.
That's the
Excuse
old
me,
name
Bob.
for Indonesia.
Bob,
Yeah.
I asked the question, does Dutch East Indies still exist? And I put down Indonesia because I don't think the Dutch East Indies still exist.
Oh, right.
Dutch East Indies is the old name for Indonesia.
Thank you.
But it's the name of the capital they're looking for.
It's only it was actually the name Jakarta that I was looking for anyway. It was a capital.
Was it not the country?
No, it was a capital city.
If we didn't get that.
I did ask quite specifically which capital city was known as Batavia. And it's Jakarta that's the answer.
Right.
I'm a bit confused. You didn't say the answer was Jakarta, did you? I thought you said it was Indonesia.
I said that Jakarta is the capital of Indonesia, but actually the answer
Right.
I wanted was simply Jakarta.
Jakarta. Thank you.
Sorry, Jim, that was me. I managed to get cut off. I was wanting to argue with Fiona. She's putting us onto an anteater, and she's got Rosalind agreeing with her. It's definitely an eye. It's the funny wee animal.
You might be right. Still waiting for a result from Paisley. I think, are they here still?
Good.
Thank you.
Well, Linda will enter all these scores on her little spreadsheet and then share it with us when she's ready. And I do hope that everybody enjoyed the quiz tonight. Some bits of it may have been a bit more challenging than usual, but the trouble is that if teams keep scoring huge scores, I've got to try to challenge you somehow.
Well, East Renfrewshire haven't been scared off.
No, they certainly have not, no. Lying in second place after round 5. And usually what I'm looking for is every team to score above half marks and at least the top 3 getting somewhere over 70–75%.
Tougher tonight, but very enjoyable.
Thank you. Enjoyability is criterion number 1. Thank you, Stuart.
Earlier rounds were definitely tougher for us.
Fair enough. Whoa, 1 point. Nearly had to use my tie break.
I wondered if you had one.
I have, of course I've got a tie break. In fact, I've got 2. I've got one that's been sitting here for months, and I've got another one as well. So
are they all correct? No problems with that? Always worry about it when I do it in a rush.
Diabolical questions, Eric. Hey, you still scored 46 out of 60. That's not bad, Eric. So there we are.
I got
52, the winners this time. Airheads, East Renfrewshire second, Causeway and West Lothian equal third.
I always thought the eye
Elm
was,
fifth.
you said it was a primate, but I thought it was just a monkey.
I have to take
Obviously not. He probably is a primate. But.
Is that the man? Is that the man whose picture is an orangutan? He should know, shouldn't he?
Yeah, absolutely, you're quite right.
Well, it wasn't today.
It wasn't the beginning.
It wasn't.
Right.
I missed that.
We can finish up the call now and go back to the screen, I think.
Well done to Paisley Buddies, seeing as it was 1 person when everybody else had 4.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, still some good scores, some very good scores there. As I say, I hope you enjoyed it. The plan is to hold another one on the final Wednesday in August, which I think is the 25th. So 25th of August should be the date for the next one. And I think by then it might be that the ones that said they were taking the summer, a couple of months off in the summer, might be back for that one. So thank you all very much for coming. I hope you've enjoyed the quiz.
Yeah,
and we
thank
look
you
forward
very
to seeing you
much.
next time.
That's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ian, for all your work. That is very much appreciated.
It's good fun as well for me.
Thanks, Ian. Thanks, Linda.
Thank you very much,
Ian and Linda. Enjoyed it. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Do you want to hold on? I can hold on for 5 minutes, Linda, if you want.
Okay.
Right.
Help yourself. I'm here.
Ian,
Yes.
technically there's 5 because thulium is an old name for Sweden, which was connected with Ytterby as well. But there's definitely erbium, terbium, ytterbium, and yttrium, and possibly thulium. And there's only one for the whole of America.
Yeah. Californium.
Oh, Barclayum, come on. Barclay, California. So there's at least
That's
2.
named after a place.
Oh, see the
Barclay is a place in California. That's where the University of California is, at Barclay.
So Berkelium.
How about Livermorium?
That's Liverpool.
No, I think it's after somebody called Livermore.
It's a laboratory and a person, Livermore. There's a lot of laboratory.
See, the minute you bring up the periodic table, Kenny and Douglas start going head to head.
Can I say I knew nothing whatsoever about the periodic table until I started watching Pointless.
Yes.
Yes, it has revolutionised people's knowledge. I quite agree.
Changed your life for the better. Thanks, Ian. That was brilliant.
Yeah.
Note to myself: no chemical elements next month.
Oh God, no, don't say that. Don't say that.
Right, I'm off. Right,
Yeah,
no.
bye.
Thank you, Bob. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Anne. Bye.
Bye. I'm not going. I'm Linda and I having a
Oh
private
yes, of course. So
conversation.
you are. So you are. I shall depart in a moment.
When everybody else goes, that is.
Yeah, all right. We'll take the hint. We know when you're not wanted. We'll go.
Just need a quick consult about
Me too.
See you all. Well, those of you on Monday.
Yeah.
Right.
Good
Bye.
Bye. Why are some of them earheads and some of them earheads? You're muted, Linda.
It's just
Can't hear you now,
Glaswegian.
you're muted.
Glaswegian.
Can't hear you. Your sound, you must actually have your sound switched off, Linda. No? Can't hear you.
Right, you should hear me now.
I hear you now. I can hear you now. Yeah.
The reason for that was because in the middle of the quiz, it suddenly said, your speakers are not working properly. We have changed to the other speakers. So that was interesting. I wasn't even trying to use them, but you know.
I didn't know. I mean, I don't know if I've got. I don't think I've got other speakers.
Well, I didn't think I had until the first time.
Let me turn my other. Get the wrong one. I'm going to turn my other computer off. That's the one we use for the Facebook group.
Ah,
well, that's how we communicate. That's how we communicate.
Group. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Right. So my key, Zoom key, what do they call it? Host key is 050647.
050647. Okay.
Yep.
So the summer school, is that being that's all being done on your Zoom? So
it's all being done, all except no, Jilly
the creative
writer
Beckett's
doing her own. She's hosting her own meetings, but I'm hosting the rest of them.
Right. Well, that should be easy enough then, because I'll get the link from, presumably from Susan, and then when I go in, I can just use the host key to do that.
Right. So you don't need to have a trial or anything like that before.
Well, I know I was going to say, is there a chance that we can have a quick make sure that that works properly?
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't like to be a guest at the West Lothian quiz on next Thursday at 2 o'clock.
Tuesday, Thursday afternoon. Well, I could come at that time anyway.
Yeah. And give it a try then. I'm hosting our quiz.
Yep, okay, I can do that then. I can pop in and
yeah. So what would happen is you would claim the host key before the meeting starts?
But at any time, and it just gives me host. And then if you want it back, you can take it back. Because you have the kind of all seeing, all singing, all dancing authority, so you can still take it back. Or I can just give it back to you. So if I pop along to the meeting, to your quiz, then we can have a quick try at the beginning and then give it you back.
Right. Okay. When I was actually teaching people how to be host, and they couldn't, some of them couldn't hand host back to me. It's ages before I discovered I actually can claim the host back from down the bottom of the page.
Yes.
Because it was somebody just could not work out how to make me back host again. I'm saying, click on the more.
Absolutely, yes.
Yes.
It just reminded me that I better stop.
You'd think I'd been pulled through a hedge backwards. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so we'll do that. If you come, I'll send you the link for it. You come as a guest to West Lothian.